Hey, welcome to my car while I'm on my lunch break. In September, I participated in 4 art festivals, which is actually quite a bit considering I also work a full-time job. The original plan was to make a silly little video about being a part of all of those festivals. However, it didn't quite work out the way I had planned. So instead, you will get this video of me in my car during my lunch hour talking about the festivals. With that, let's cue up the title screen and get going on this thing. As I said before the title screen rolled, I participated in 4 art festivals. The first of the 4 was the Bethany Beach Boardwalk Art Festival in Bethany Beach, Delaware. Say that 5 times fast. So this is normally where I would cut to some B-roll of the festival and all the patrons walking by and looking at artwork. However, I got set up really late and the crowd was very early, so I got swamped before I was even ready to have customers. The festival was actually very well attended and I beat my previous sales high in terms of dollars, which was really awesome. However, it was a very long day. I woke up at 4 o'clock to make the 2.5-hour drive down to Bethany Beach, then set up my booth, then spent all day in the sun with customers, then had to tear down the booth, and made another 2.5-hour drive home at the end. It was made for a very long day. But otherwise, it was a good way to jump back into the festival game, considering I hadn't been to a festival since I was in Buffalo in June. The second festival was the Rose Squared Art Show's Ludwig Corner that was in Pennsylvania. It was actually the only 2-day show that I did all September. It was a nice show, and my sales for that show actually beat the sales that I did in Delaware for a new record high for me, which is awesome. With that said, it was a much more laid-back show. It was a well-ran show. The company that ran it really good. Rose Squared, nothing but compliments to the staff that was there working. Thumbs up all the way. But it's a new show. It's only in its second year. They're still building a clientele. So there was a lot of downtime during the show, which was actually kind of nice because I was able to go and meet some fellow artists and find out what they were doing, learn from them, which is always a good thing. Hopefully future shows will bring in more patrons because I would absolutely love to do that show again. I thought it was well run and I would have no qualms participating in it again in the future. So the third show took me to Bucks County, Pennsylvania for the Penridge Gallery of the Arts. Unlike the previous show, this one was actually in its 57th year, so this was a very long running show. Very well ran as well. In terms of volunteer help, this one won the gold medal. It was probably the best show I'd ever been to in terms of the volunteers that they had there, where they helped unload the car, put up the canopies and all that. It was just awesome. Nothing but compliments to the team that runs that show. So while the volunteer team and the staff was top notch, my sales at the show were pretty low. They're actually the lowest that I had this year, which was a little disappointing. With that said, this happened.
And third place in photography is James Rost.
Woo!
Congratulations, James.
So a 3-work compilation of mine took 3rd place at the show, which is always great. I always love winning awards. Getting that admiration and accolades from fellow artists is always a great thing. Gives me the warm and fuzzies. So while the sales weren't great, that absolutely made up for it. So the final show in September was the Mount Airy Art Festival in Philadelphia. This one kind of had more of a street festival vibe. It actually reminded me a lot of the 9th and 9th Festival in Salt Lake City that I participated in for a couple of years, which I really loved participating in. The sales for the show were about average for the year, so I had no complaints there. And I actually met a graduate from my university, which was pretty cool as well. So that was a quick rundown of my September. As I mentioned in my video about the Allentown Arts Festival, a big expenditure that I had this month was rental cars. Again, I don't have the space to carry my stuff around, as you can see, as I'm sitting in the car that I own. So because of the car rentals, it actually caused my expenditures to outpace my sales, which again is not a good thing. However, there are plans in place to replace this wonderful vehicle, which has been with me for almost 8 years now, with something that's a little bit more cargo friendly, let's put it that way. So as of right now, I don't have any more festivals planned for the rest of the year, but there may be a winter festival or 2 that may pop up that I'll look into. With that said, I do have 3 trips planned where I can get out and get some photography done, which I'm very much looking forward to. The third of the 3 trips is actually something I will be making a video of, and I am super looking forward to that, so I hope you guys will keep watching and see that video. As always, for news and information, you can subscribe to my Instagram account. Would appreciate that. For any new photos that I may take before I put them on my website, I usually upload them to my car account page. You can go ahead and check that out as well at the link. If you are looking forward to seeing that video that I'll be filming towards the end of the year, subscribe to this YouTube channel. And as always, you can support me by going to my website, jrostphotography.com. So my lunch is just about coming to an end, so I need to get myself back to work. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.